looking at two 9-pointers. Yeah, they're both X and 1. So
they didn't get this started exactly the way that they wanted.
So this is a big win, big loss.
Yeah.
For each of them.
Because one of them is going to be up against the wall in a big way and have to win out.
So we're about to get started here for round 5 of Grand Prix Seattle. We're here on GG's Live. I'm Brian David Marshall. I'm with Marshall Sutcliffe of Limited Resources. And we are about to watch Matthew Costa. There you see him, the newest member of the Platinum Pro Players Club, winner of Grand Prix Baltimore, top 8 competitor from Pro Tour Dark Ascension. He has 3 Grand Prix top 8s in his career, including and a 9th. So he missed 1 top 8 on breakers.
Wow.
Has only been playing on the Grand Prix circuit since 2009. So really short window.
He's such a normal guy.
He is.
This guy's a crusher.
He is a crusher. He's the real thing.
That is legit.
Melissa DETORA there on your right. Melissa is veteran player. She's been playing for a long time. I remember her coming to the New York PTQs for as long as we were running them. And she's been off and on the Pro Tour over the years, has been more on than off of late. Is really playing, I think, the best Magic of her career. And as I said earlier, just got the first Grand Prix top 8 of her career.
That's fantastic.
In Chile at the end of last season.
There's some sort of tangible momentum coming from Melissa DETORA. I think she's ready to make
both
a big
of these
run.
players.
I think Matt's just there now.
Yeah. Well, Matt is right now the 4th best player in the United States in terms of pro points.
It's incredible.
There we see a Village Ironsmith from Matt.
Yep, and it looks like Melissa mulliganed to 6.
Is that a grave crawler?
It is a grave crawler. So that card could be very pesky when you're on the beatdowns, and when you're not, you hope to get some type of advantage off of it otherwise. Matt played his 3rd land and just passed a turn back, so he wanted to get the maximum pressure going, and he might even have a 3-drop removal or something to play, although he wouldn't use it on the grave crawler if he did. Melissa has missed a land drop and passed back, and Matt's bashing in for 3 here.
Why didn't he attack for 1? Or did he attack for 1?
I actually missed it. I'm not sure. Looks like we have your potato wolves again. So
Russet
Melissa
wolves.
is up against it in a
basically
big way.
just Hill Giant.
It's a Hill Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a slight. Emerald Wolf's the card.
Sure. There's some tribal synergies.
There's some tribal synergies.
There we see Blazing Torch.
She drew Blazing Torch and is equipped it. So that's actually going to do
so she's going to be able to block, shoot if she wants.
She can't block.
Oh, she can't block. That's right.
Yeah.
We've already established this.
Yeah. But she is going to take 3.
Yeah, but if you put the Blazing Torch on top of it and cover up the roll stacks, you can block, right?
You can block. It's a creature. And he goes right into a near heat stalker. So Matt Costa has curved quite nicely.
That card is tough to deal with.
It's a handful. And Melissa still is stuck on 2 lands, it looks like.
Attention players in the afternoon, Seattle. There are 5 minutes left in deck construction. 5 minutes left in deck construction for the afternoon.
She's going to attack. She's on 7 cards here. Matt is just looking to increase his advantage and apply maximum pressure. He does so with a hate-bound flare. Yeah, so
hate-bound flares.
Hate-bound flare. This is a 4/2 with Undying. Whenever a creature enters a battlefield,
scoop.
And she's going to scoop it up. Yeah, from the graveyard, it does damage to a creature or player equal to its power, and it has Undying. So when it dies, it comes back and does 5 to anything you want. And if you have other Undying guys like a Near Heat Stalker, that's going to do 4. That's going to do 5 as well. So you can see a smile from Matt here. I'd be smiling if I just had that game too. That was savage. She stumbled on mana after a mull, and he just curved out. That was sick.
Yeah, just like red-black, very aggressive.
That's what the red-black deck wants to do, is be the aggressor, and the problem comes when you're not. And it has such a hard time holding off attackers and stabilizing itself again.
I really love the way Innistrad Block has turned some conventional wisdom on its ear. Like, to me, the red-black deck traditionally has just been grindy. Removal.
Lots of removal.
1-for-1s, and then some sort of like raised dead. And sealed, like just some. But this is just putting them to the test.
We're ready to begin your event. Please find your bearings.
We don't even know what Melissa's second color was, right? We just saw black from her.
It's blue. Oh, I saw the cards in her hand, but she never did get to actually play an island.
So she could be like Black Blue Zombies. She could have like the captain, the diagraph captain. Or
Absolutely.
something like that card is so difficult to beat.
I think she just chanted, cited in chanted the skiff saying that we mentioned, which is pretty good. She can put it in against some of those undying creatures.
Yeah, it's really good there.
Turn them into blockers, but
well, I mean, not as great there. I don't think
not against the near heat stalker.
Yeah.
You will be playing your paired opponent in round 1. Necklace face down.
It's pretty good versus werewolves.
So when you talk about limited, do you talk at all ever about like operational stuff, like how to shuffle? Have you ever looked into like your optimal shuffling technique?
That's actually something I wanted to bring up with you this weekend. Because I watch a lot of coverage, and I've been watching even more leading up to this because I was kind of studying and trying to see what I liked and what I didn't. Why don't we have a set of rules about how to shuffle? Like, why doesn't everybody shuffle the exact same way? Do you know if there's a
That's a great question. I mean, maybe what we might be able to do is get our head judge in here, or get someone, Matt Tabak, the rules manager, in here, and ask those questions.
Because one of the things that happens when you watch coverages is sometimes you'll get players that shuffle forever, right?
But I guess
these players are used to this; they know the grind, and they're not. We're not going to have to deal with it. But some of these guys will shuffle endlessly, and it's like this deck has been sufficiently randomized.
Sure. I think it's a matter of comfort level. Like you want players to feel like they're randomized. Like surely you want people to shuffle more. You'd like people to err on the side of shuffle more than shuffle less, right? Sure. And I think that if you have my guess is that if you had some rigid, like this is what you'd do. And if this is what I do, then theoretically I can rig things up and.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. I guess you have to kind of balance that out versus you want to get a game finished.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going under wave game 2, but we're going to get a little more practical examples of how to shuffle from Melissa.
Yeah, but they both shuffled in a very timely fashion. And I think that, this is I mean, the thing is that I don't know the math behind shuffling. I'm familiar with cards and things like that, numbers, but I don't actually know what it takes to sufficiently do it.
Interesting. I hear from our sideline reporter that Melissa chose to draw.
Really?
Yeah. So
even
Matt's
with
Matt's sticking on 7 here.
Okay.
But Melissa is on the draw.
So this mulligan won't punish her quite as hard then.
Yeah. There's two this weekend.
But we do talk about that on the show. But very briefly, we talk a lot more about strategy. Like we'll talk about operational stuff within the game, combat, the stack, how phases work, stops, that kind of thing. We did a show once where we covered stuff that you do at a tournament that isn't the game, and we talked about shuffling there, but we didn't really say how to do it.
Right.
Because I don't know. I don't want to tell people. I mean, I know what I do, and I know it sufficiently does it, but I don't know how it.
I like to put about 10 riffles in. Pile shuffle, and then do like about 10 more riffles, and then just do a couple of like side shuffles.
Okay, so what about this? Because this is something that I see a lot too. I play something that lets me search my library. I give it a shuffle, and I present it to my opponent, and then they pick it up and they shuffle it 8 times.
Huh.
You know what I mean? It's like
sure.
Those are the kind of things that I wonder if they're just a habit, or if you're actually doing something.
Sounds like there's a lot of losing going on around here. I'm just looking at people talking on Twitter about their results. Brian Kibler won. He didn't like his Brian's 4-0. I said Chris McCool's 4-0. Your buddy Kenji.
Yeah.
He's a regular guest on the show, right?
He is, yep. He's come on a few times.
He's 3-1. He doesn't like his deck.
Okay.
Says Lingering Souls is good. Dave Williams lost round 4, 3-1. Dave was involved in the harangue of you about how many cards you're willing to play.
The spew value incident of 2012. Yeah. I remember.
Pat Cox lost.
He was in top 8 of Austin.
Yeah, lost. He lost to first round to Cackling Counterpart, Copying Fiend Hunter, and Stormgeist.
Melissa's going to 5 here, by the way.
Josh Utter-Layton says his opponent Soren went ultimate and made 2 emblems, but he says won very easily. I would assume, I don't know who that is. Like from the tone, it sounds like he won very easily.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it sounds like Josh won.
Yeah, but John Finkel lost. He's 3-1.
Wow. John Finkel's like a limited master, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
that's his thing. Okay, let's see if Melissa's luck can turn around here. She goes to 5. She's mulliganed 3 times in 2 games so far. Still hasn't found a keeper. She does this time. Matt leaves at the mountain, but no turn 1 play or turn 2 play.
Luis Scott Vargas is 4-0. His opponent no-showed in round 4.
How lucky. I got a chance to see Luis's deck. He likes it. When Luis likes his deck,
Yeah.
that's not good for everybody else. Okay, so what do we have? We've got a Chosen of Markov. And
So,
is that a Ludovic's test subject?
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
So Chris Lansdale on Twitter says, by the way, there is a rule. He says you have 3 minutes to shuffle and present your deck between games, including sideboard choices. But that's not what we were talking about.
No.
We were talking about the operations of actually, like, what is sufficient randomization?
Right. Like
We're
if
not
I
talking
just
about
go-
the time limits at
Right,
all.
right.
So what is that, a Stromkirk captain?
It's a Stromkirk captain, and she's got...
So we're going to see a flipped... we're going to see a servant of Markov, I guess.
We are going to see, it's going to become
It's a high...
the servant. Are these
Oh,
both
wow. Yeah.
the ghoul? Are
Yeah.
these the 2-1 Intimidate ghoul?
Yeah, they are.
That's... All right, he plays an Airdwall Ripper. We have a very aggressive start from both
Yeah,
players.
there's a pair of highborn ghouls.
Highborn ghouls. And we've got decisions to make because, unfortunately for Melissa, those things both have first strike thanks
Yeah.
to the captain.
That's a 5/5
And +1/+1.
and a 3/2.
Yes. First strike and the 3-2, if it gets in,
Gets
is going to get out of control.
just gets
quickly.
angrier. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a spot where a Ludovic's test subject would normally do a lot of work just blocking because she's not going to have the time this game to actually level it up, most likely.
And she has to take it.
But she's forced to wait until she can get another creature down with some power so that she can...
And she can't get in with those highborn ghouls.
No, because they can just get eaten up. She is in a very tough spot. Now, if she can take out the captain, the pressure gets relieved quite a bit.
A little bit. I mean, a little bit.
She can double block the Chosen, take a huge risk.
Sure.
I mean, if she's forced to double block the Chosen at some point during this game, any number of red or black spells completely blow her out, including Tragic Slip, Geist Flame, even Harvest Pyre might do it, depending on what happens. She is up against tremendous pressure here. And really all thanks to the captain.
I mean, her mulligans and...
But I mean, she has a reasonable opener. You know,
right,
she went
right.
turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 plays here.
Certainly a hand you could look at and think maybe I can
It's
win
like something's
this.
getting chanted. She's going to put it on the Ripper. Okay, so he's less of a threat. In the
Okay.
sense that he's not a threat anymore.
Stop dealing with a 5/5 first striker.
Yes. And at this point, he could even swing in with his captain if he had some type of trick. And there's the Flare of the Hate Bound. Would you swing with your captain there?
She's
probably forced to do
I guess there's just no reason to.
Well, I mean, he's got 5 or 6 untapped mana, and she has to block with the test subject. You can let her make a mistake. I mean, there's a few things that can happen. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But that's another
Airball
Ripper.
Wow, his deck
Well,
is...
we see the synergies in his deck here.
His
Gee.
deck is about as aggressive as a deck as we've seen.
Yeah, man, he's had enough of sitting back. He's just going to shift the squad here.
She's at 7.
Yeah,
I mean, he's like, I'm perfectly happy with you blocking.
yeah. She doesn't even have any blocks here. I mean,
Well, that's why he's happy with her blocking.
yeah, because her best block is like test subject on the flare because it doesn't kill it, and that's what she wants.
I mean,
And then she chumps a couple of times and somehow doesn't die.
the Flayer is not Well, Flair's a devil.
Yeah, but,
Still waiting for a devil lord.
Yeah, but but if the Flair dies, then she dies because
Right.
she takes the 5.
But she just dies.
Yeah, she just scooped it up.
She scoops. Let's see if we can get Matt Costa here. Maybe Matt's quite a formidable. Like, despite his success in constructed, he's quite a formidable limited player.
I heard you say that, but
Yeah.
then I remembered that it was modern, right? Or standard?
Yeah.
Standard in Baltimore?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he's always done pretty well at limited, and like really focused on getting best deck for standard.
Okay.
And like so he's someone who feels like he feels like if he does less than 4-2 at a pro tour in limited, he's going to be very disappointed with himself.
I like a guy like that.
Oh, and look at that deck. I mean, that's
Jeez.
that's